Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to be reading Lesson 4, Where Californians Live Together. And your assignment today in Google Classroom is to take notes on this lesson. You're going to record 4 things that you've learned from this lesson, 2 questions that you still have, and at least 6 vocabulary words that you notice are important for understanding this lesson. So let's begin. Please follow along with me at the top of page 34, lesson 4, Where Californians Live. Imagine setting your eyes on California for the first time. Stretching before you are wide valleys below towering mountains. You have also heard stories of California's rugged coast and vast deserts. Where might you choose to live? When people first came to live in what is now California, they made their homes where they found fresh water and food. Over time, they settled throughout California. People still live in every region of the state. However, more people live in certain places than in others, and they live in those places for different reasons. Patterns of settlement. Today, more than 35 million people live in California, more than in any other state. However, California's population is not spread out evenly. The physical environment, which includes a place's physical features, landforms, and climate, often affects where people live. In California, for example, San Francisco Bay and San Diego Bay were important parts of early transportation routes, and large cities grew up around them. Physical features also discourage people from settling in areas. In the past, California's rugged mountains and harsh climate of its deserts made it difficult for people to settle there. These regions still have the fewest people. The ways in which people use natural resources can affect where they live. A natural resource is something found in nature, such as water, soil, and minerals, that people can use to meet their needs. People in the past often settled where the land was fertile and good for farming. This explains why so many people still live in the Central Valley today. Some people choose to settle where they can find work. People also settle along transportation routes, such as rivers, roads, and railroads. Culture also affects where people live. People may live in a place because they were born there. Many people settle near their families or near others who share their ways of life. Boys and girls, before you turn to the next page, be sure you take a look at your graphic features here. You have, it looks like a picture here of somewhere by the water. It says, today, as in the past, San Francisco Bay is important to the people of San Francisco. So this must be San Francisco Bay in the picture. It shows where it's located on a map, and it gives you a fast fact that California's population is larger than that of all the other Western states combined. Notice that there's a picture of what it looked like in the past and what it looks like in the present. Please turn the page. Both urban and rural. Most Californians live in urban or city areas. In fact, about 93 of every 100 Californians live in or near a city. Most larger cities are found in the coastal and Central Valley regions. California's largest city is Los Angeles. About 1/4 of California's people live in the city's metropolitan area. A metropolitan area is a large city together where nearby cities and suburbs. And a suburb is a town or small city near a large city. Like Los Angeles, most of the largest cities in California lie on or near the Pacific coast. San Jose, San Francisco, and Oakland are in the San Francisco Bay Area. Long Beach, Riverside, and Santa Ana are near Los Angeles. San Diego, California's second largest city, lies on San Diego Bay, near the state's southern edge. California's other largest cities are in the Central Valley. Sacramento, the state capital, lies on the banks of the Sacramento River. To the south are Fresno and Bakersfield. All three are at the center of important farming areas. Although California has many large cities, most of the state's land and area is rural or country. In rural areas, houses are farther apart and towns are smaller. There are fewer freeways and crowded streets, and the land is mostly forest, farms, or ranches. In recent years, California's population has spread into desert areas such as San Bernardino and the Palm Springs area. This is partly because Californians are now better able to modify or change the land to meet their needs. People are now able to live in parts of the state where few people lived in the past. For example, the ability to bring water to dry regions of the state has helped these areas grow. In some places, land that was once desert is now rich farmland. Take a look at your graphic features. You have a table here. You can look at the rank, the city, and the population. How many people live in these different cities? Take a look at that and see about how many people live there. We have a picture of Los Angeles and what the city of Los Angeles looks like down here. And we also have a picture of an area in the desert. Look at how different it looks now that people can bring in their own water or change the dynamics. This is where they've changed it. And then out here, you can see what the natural desert looks like. Okay, now that we're done, you're going to go back into your Google Classroom. You're going to write down 4 facts that you've learned. If you need to read it again with me, go ahead and read it again with me. Just push play. I want you to write down 2 questions that you still have after reading this. And then I'd like you to come find 6 important vocabulary words. Remember that our graphic features, they bold or highlight some important words for us. So those ones should be easy to find. Do your best.